What we're going to do now is to just prepare an area to put some beetroot in. So what we're going to do is just force the area over. As you can see, we've already started doing it. It's working out quite fine, and we can just use the fork as well, like a rake. Just drag that back and forth, switch the direction, and then you've got your area pretty much prepared there. Just pull that stone to one side. If you want to, you can run the rake across it just to level it a little bit more. Again, not digging in too much, just a light, very light rake with that. Where you've got an odd weed, like a bit of white dead nettle, or pull that out. Put that to one side. And now what we can do is we can stretch the line. Again, I use this line here. Stretch that out. And then wrap that around a few times. And then we'll just put that in there like that. Okay. Again, you don't have to use a line. You could use a board, would do the job very nicely, as you can see there. Just slide that down a bit. The next thing I need to know, I've got my beetroot here. They're not fantastic specimens, a bit leggy, but what we're going to do, we're just going to plant them every 10 centimeters. So just going to make myself a little lat, and there's my 10 centimeter mark there. Now 10 centimeters is fine for beetroot for normal growing. If you want to grow them for pickling, then you can cut that down to 5 centimeters. So it all depends on what you're going to use them for ultimately. So we'll just use that as my little spacer, and we'll just squeeze one or two of these beetroot out. These have been watered this morning, so I'm just going to place them kind of by the side, and we'll just put them in, squeeze them out of there. Okay, there we go. It doesn't matter if there's 2 or 3 in the same clump, because you can harvest them and take one and the rest will stay there. Okay, again, we'll just pull them out and just put a few more in just to give you the idea. Okay, so it doesn't matter for the purposes of planting out a bare rooted, whether you've got a cabbage or a beetroot or whatever you're planting out, as long as you've got the right distance apart. So we'll just put those in, and then we'll have a look at an alternative method using a dipper. Okay, so what I would do now is, if I was putting them in, we would just one trowel in, pull back, let them go in, and just make sure they're nice and tight in there. Again, trowel in, pull back, pop them there, nice and firm. Again, trowel in, pull back, nice and firm. Obviously you'll have hardened off the beetroot from indoors. Pull them back a little bit, pop them in, make sure they're up, that's it. And then we'll just pull that last one there, that's it, and make sure nice and firm in there. And so that's one method of planting out bare rooted plants. Just going to use the other method, which is using like a big dibber. Okay, which is usually a broken spade or fork handle, which you just put a bit of an angle on the end of it just to help it. Now this can be used in the no dig system, so you wouldn't actually have to have dug the ground over or forked it over. You could have had a mulch on top, and so you'd just be pushing that in through the mulch, and then pull that out, drop in your plant, and bring your soil around it, and you can see there, just push that in, make a hole, pull it out, drop that in, and it's another good way of doing it. This is quite good for leeks, where you make a hole, drop the leek in, and then all you do is water them in. You don't actually firm them with soil. So I can go just across here, through there like that, pull that out, drop that in, and work my way along 10 centimeters apart, just using my spade, and there you go. Now this beetroot's quite a tough one. It's one called Bolt Hardy, which is a very well known beetroot because it's that little bit tougher, it doesn't bolt, even though the weather changes, and it doesn't suddenly go and flower and set seed. There we go, he's got 2 or 3 there. Put them in just to finish that row. And there we go, that's got the beetroot bolt hardy. We've got a row, and they just need watering in, and then that's them set. We're just going to dribble a little bit of water in there. You could have the rose on the can. I'm just going to dribble a little bit in around each of these just to give them a bit of a start. It just gets the soil in contact with the plant roots as well, which helps. Obviously it helps the plants to recover quicker.